Hi everyone, welcome back to Rakesh YouTube channel. Today I want to share with you 2 marks important question answers for SSLC second language English. In yesterday we already completed important extracts. Yes, I think that video is helpful to you. Today I want to share important 2 marks questions and also important lessons. See the Unit 3 Gentlemen of Rio en Medio. ಈ ಲೆಸನಿಂದ ನಾವು ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸಿ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. Don Anselmo was fascinated about his land and the children of Rio en Medio. Justify this statement. See the answer. Don Anselmo had inherited the land from his ancestors. Almost everyone in the village was his relative, and all the children were his nieces and nephews. He was very much fascinated about his land. He used to plant a tree when a child was born in the village. As he was fascinated, he felt that the trees belonged to the children and therefore he sold only the land. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕೀ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ನೀವು ಹಾಕಿ ಬರೆದ್ರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಸಿ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಡಾನ್ ಆನ್ಸೆಲ್ಮೋ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್? ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಡಾನ್ ಆನ್ಸೆಲ್ಮೋ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್. He is stuck to his words and action, who sold his land to Americans for only $1,200. It was worth more. He refused to receive extra money from Americans, even they were ready to pay double for it. He sold only the land but not the trees because he thought that children were the real owners of the trees. Important questions. See the third one. Don Anselmo and the Americans were generous in their own ways. Comment on this. See the question. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾನ್ ಆನ್ಸೆಲ್ಮೋ ಮತ್ತು ಅಮೇರಿಕನ್ಸ್ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಜನರಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಿ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. Don Anselmo stuck to his words and action, who sold his land to Americans for only $1,200. It was worth more. So he was generous. After hearing Don Anselmo saying that he had sold only the land but not trees because he thought that children were the real owners of trees, Americans did not want to quarrel. Instead, they kept quiet and agreed with Anselmo. So, Americans were also generous. Yes. See the fourth question. What did the Americans discover after the survey? Answer. After the survey, the Americans discovered that Don Anselmo owned more than 8 acres land which extended across the river. See the next question. John A. Cedillo offered Don Anselmo almost double the amount he was given. Why? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾನ್ ಎ ಸೆಡಿಲೋ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಆಥರ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಆಥರ್ ಲಾಯರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ who solved the case of the Don Anselmo and Americans. See the answer. The Americans got the land surveyed in order to make the deed. It was found that Anselmo owned more than 8 acres, which was almost twice as much as in size than what they had fixed the price for. The Americans were good people and they offered to pay double the price they had quoted earlier. See the next question, sixth one. Don Anselmo's appearance and manners were quite unusual. Support this statement. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ ಅನ್ಸೆಲ್ಮೋ ಅಪಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾನರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಅನ್ಯೂಸ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು? ಸಿ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. Don Anselmo's appearance was quite unusual because his coat was old, green, and faded. These are adjectives here. He wore old and torn gloves through which his fingertips showed. He carried a cane. It was only skeleton of worn out umbrella. He resembled Charlie Chaplin. Next one, why do you think that Americans wanted to buy Don Anselmo's land? ಏಕೆ ಅಮೇರಿಕನ್ಸು ಡಾನ್ ಆನ್ಸಲ್ಮೋ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡನ್ನು ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಆನ್ಸರ್, Don Anselmo's house was small and wretched but quaint. The little creek ran through his land. His orchard was gnarled and beautiful. The land was very big and fertile. So the Americans wanted to buy Don Anselmo's land. Next question. Eighth one. Why did the Americans complain the storyteller about the children? Answer. The Americans complained the storyteller that the children of the village were running around the land, playing in the orchard, putting fences around their playing area, plucking the flowers. When they were spoken to, they only laughed and talked back good naturally in Spanish. Ninth question. Why do you think Don Anselmo did not sell the trees in the orchard? Answer. Don Anselmo planted a tree in the name of every child who took birth after he took the possession of the land. So he believed that the trees in the orchard belonged to the children of Rio en Medio. Hence, Don Anselmo could sell only the land but not the trees in the orchard. Last question. How was the problem of ownership resolved by the Americans? Answer. Americans could do nothing because they owned the trees legally, whereas the old man Don Anselmo had been so generous. The extra money what he refused was the fortune for him. Finally, Americans bought the trees individually from the descendants of Don Anselmo in the most of the following winter. These all are important questions on Rio en Medio, the gentleman of Rio en Medio. Next lesson, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Next lesson, Unit 4, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. ಈ ಲೆಸನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟಫ್ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೆದಾಗ ಡೆಫಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು 2ಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ತಗೋಬೋದು. See the first question. Here I mentioned year also. Means repeated questions ಗೆ ನಾನು year ಕೂಡ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Very important questions. Note down these questions. First one. How do you say Dr. Ambedkar was a voracious reader? June 2015, April 2016, March 2022 also repeated. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀತಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಥರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ಗಿವ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ 2ಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಸಿ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಬಾಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಬೈ curtailing his daily needs. Bought 2000 old books in New York. Brought books in 32 boxes from London. These are the important keywords. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. See the next question. What were the influences on Dr. Ambedkar? ಇದನ್ನು 2016 ಕೇಳಿರೋಂಥ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀತಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಹೌ ಡಿಡ್ 14th ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದ US ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಫುಲೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲುಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್? ಸಿ ದ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. 14th Amendment of American Constitution gave freedom to black Americans. Next, he saw the parallel situation in India. Third point is Mahatma Phule works for women's uplift and for orderly classless society in India. Third question. Why was Dr. Ambedkar chosen as the drafting committee chairman even though he was not in the Congress party? ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಯಾಕೆ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್: ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ. ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫೇತ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಟು ಗಿವ್ permanent shape to his social philosophy, he was chosen. Next important question, fourth one. Write a short note on Dr. Ambedkar's idea, perception of the three pillars of state. Keywords: clear idea about mutuality of the three pillars of the state. Jurisdiction of each should be clear and untrammeled. Third point, every citizen is important. See the next question. Fifth one is, what is the opinion of Dr. Ambedkar about the Indian Constitution? Or what is the significant observation of Dr. Ambedkar on the Constitution? Keywords are fundamental document. Define the position and power of the three pillars of the state. Next key point, limitation to avoid tyranny and complete oppression. Next important question, sixth one. Nehru chose Dr. Ambedkar as the law minister. What might have prompted Nehru to do so? Or why did Nehru choose Dr. Ambedkar as the first law minister of independent India? See the year here. ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ನು 4 times ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ 2015, ಜೂನ್ 2019, ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 2022, then June 2022. Important question, remember that. See the keywords. Dr. Ambedkar had a great skill in law and legislation. He had vision of social justice. He conducted compassion against social injustice. Prominent champion of the depressed and oppressed. To infuse his vision in the new Indian polity. Important keywords. See the next question, seventh one. What made Dr. B.R. Ambedkar describe the method of civil disobedience, non-cooperation and satyagraha as the grammar of anarchy? 2017 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. These are necessary when a state is ruled by alien power, not in democratic country. If it is used, there would be loss of lives and public property. Next, eighth question. There were great luminaries on the drafting committee. Ambedkar is remembered as the pilot. Give reasons. Keywords. Ambedkar was the drafting committee chairman. He was tactful, frank and had utmost patience. Explained clearly the meaning and scope of the different provision of the draft constitution. Next important question, ninth one. What were the opinion of the Buddha and Avai regarding the caste division? Keywords. According to Buddha, the only valid division are the noble and ignoble. Tamil poetess Avai said that only two castes, charitable, superior, meager, inferior. Next important question, 10th one. How did Dr. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi try to wipe out caste discrimination from India? These questions repeat in 2017 and 2020. See the keywords. Keywords. Gandhiji reminded the duty of higher caste towards depressed classes. Dr. Ambedkar reminded the depressed classes that equality was their inherent right with more powerful caste. Gandhiji stressed the duties, but Ambedkar stressed the right. Very important question. Mark that, this one. Next question. Why did Nehru describe Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as the symbol of revolt? Keywords. Dr. Ambedkar fought for depressed class people. He raised his voice against the discrimination, improved the miserable condition of them, champion of the depressed class people. Next important question. 12th one. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar worked for the upliftment of the depressed classes. Explain. Or why did Dr. Ambedkar considered as a champion of the depressed classes in India? See the keywords. Dr. Ambedkar started newspapers Mukanayak, Bahishkrut Bharat and Samata, and institutions Hitakarini Sabha and the Independent Labour Party of India. Next key point. There were the authentic voices of the depressed classes. Next important question. 13th one. What qualities do you appreciate in Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Applied question. See the keywords. He was a voracious reader. Next key point. He fought for equality in society. Next key point. He had skills in law and legislation. Next, he was a champion of the depressed classes. Total 13 questions, important questions are there. Practice everyone. Yes, next important lesson is the concert. Next lesson is Unit 5, the concert. 2 marks questions. First one. Why did Smita get excited after reading the newspaper? Answer. Smita got excited after reading the newspaper because it had the news of Pandit Ravi Shankar's music concert at the Shanmukananda Auditorium the next day. Next question. Why do you think the mother cautioned the girl? Answer. The Smita's brother Anant had been struck with cancer. He was very sick, was lying on the bed. So the mother cautioned with Smita not to disturb Anant. Next important question. Why did Smita's family move to Bombay? Answer. Smita's brother Anant was suffering from cancer. They moved to Bombay from their native town Gaganpur so that he could be treated at the cancer hospital in the city. Fourth one. For a moment, Smita had forgotten something. What was it? Answer. For a moment, Smita had forgotten that Anant was very ill and not in a position to go to the concert. Next question. In what way was the truth frightening to Smita? Important question. Answer. Though Smita and her family had pretended Anant would get well, she had known that Anant was going to die of cancer. This was frightening to Smita. Next question. Do you consider Anant a talented boy? Justify your answer. Answer. Yes. Anant was a talented boy. He was the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. He was learning to play the sitar and was already able to compose his own tunes. Important question. Next, seventh one. They had come with high hopes. What hopes did Anant's parents have? Anand's parents had high hopes in the miracles of modern science. They thought that he would be cured. Then he could talk and run again, and hoped that he would become a great sitarist one day. Next question, eighth one. What did the doctor say to Anand's parents? Were they words of hope or words of despair? Answer. The doctors asked Anand's parents to take him home and give him whatever he liked. They were the words of despair because his parents realized that he had not many days to live. Next question. Why were the neighbors surprised? Answer. The neighbors could not believe their eyes because they saw Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro, and Utsadalla Raka, the great tabla maestro, arrive to the boy's house. So they are become surprised. Next important question. 10th one. Pandit Ravi Shankar and Utsadalla Raka performed in the boy's house. How was this an unusual incident? Answer. Pandit Ravi Shankar and Utsadalla Raka were world famous musicians. In spite of their busy schedule and high profile, they visited the boy and performed for him. Next important question, 11th one. Why do you think that Smita's mother cautioned her not to make noise? Answer. Smita, on looking up the newspaper, almost shouted with excitement. But her brother Anant was ill and suffering from cancer. She cautioned her not to make noise so that he could rest. Next, 12th one. What was the chance of a lifetime for Anant? Answer. Anant was a music lover and was also learning to play sitar. Listening to sitar maestro's music and attending his concert was the chance of lifetime for Anant. Next question, 13th one. Suddenly, a daring thought came to her. What was the daring thought? Answer. Smita knew that her brother Anant was dying of cancer. She wanted to fulfill his wish. So she thought of going to the concert and request Pandit Ravi Shankar to perform for her brother. Next question. 14th one. How did Smita enjoy the concert? Answer. Smita was spellbound by the music. As the first notes came over the air, she felt as if the gates of enchantment and wonder were opening. But every beat of tabla reminded her of Anand's voice. Next question. Pandit Ravi Shankar and Utsadalla Raka performed in the boy's house. How was this an unusual incident? Answer. Pandit Ravi Shankar and Utsadalla Raka were world famous musicians. In spite of their busy schedule and high profile, they visited the boy and performed for him. Next question, 16th one. In the course of the story, the concert, whom do you consider to be more worried, Smita or Anant? Answer. In the story, Smita was more worried than others. Though attending the concert was a chance of lifetime, she could not enjoy it completely because Anant was not with her. She was always thinking how to fulfill Anant's wish. 17th question. As Smita sat listening to the music, she was spellbound. But all the while, her mind was echoing something else. What was that? Answer. Spellbound, Smita listened to the unfolding ragas, but all the while, her mind was planning to meet Ravi Shankar personally and share her feelings about her brother's flight. If possible, she would like to arrange for home concert for her brother. That was the chance of his life. Next, 18th question. What makes you do think that Aunt Sushila had supported Anand's family? This question asked in April 2021. Answer. Aunt Sushila had a small apartment in Mumbai. She accommodates when Anand's family came to Mumbai for his treatment. Very important questions. Practice well. Okay? Yes. Next important questions, 2 marks question come in Science and Hope of Survival lesson. Next, Unit 8, Science and Hope of Survival. Important 2 marks questions. Last prose. First one. According to the author, why do some people choose to become scientists though they may not earn much money? This question repeated in 2018 and June 2018 means supplementary exam, then to April 2019. And ಇದೇ ಕ್ವಶನನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಹೌ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಡ್ವೆಂಚರ್? ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್ ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್ ಡಸ್ ಅ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೀಸ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್? ಹೌ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್ಸ್? ಆರ್ why do some people choose to become scientists instead of becoming lawyers and doctors? ಸೇಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನನ್ನು 4 ಟೈಪ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಸಿ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಆಥರ್, ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಚೂಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲಿವ್ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ದೇರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರೀಸ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದ ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್. Instead of money, they enjoy freedom, teamwork, independence, discovering the mysteries of nature. Important question, note down. Next, second one. Why did the scientists meet at Geneva? Or technical experts were summoned to solve the problem that arose. What was the problem? Or why did technical experts from the nuclear power nations meet in Geneva? Very important question. This is repeated in 2015, 2019 and 2020. ಡೆಫಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಕೂಡ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೇಳೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ವೆಲ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್. ದ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಜಿನೆವಾ to discuss the problem of nuclear weapons. Since the tremor caused by an earthquake is same as the tremor caused by a nuclear explosion, if countries which signed the treaty violated the terms, it would be difficult to know the violation. So the technical experts from the Soviet Union, Union States, United States and United Kingdom, 3 powers met Geneva. Important question. Yes, see the next one. How can you prove that scientists are the most practical people in the world? See the answer. It is through the work of the scientists that we have medicines, electronics, new sources of energy, modes of transport and the green revolution. This proves that scientists are the most practical people. Next question. Why did Baruch learn at the Geneva summit? Answer. He learned that there were people all over the world who thought and acted the way he did. So scientists never feel lonely. He also realized that while there was science, there was hope for the survival of mankind. Next question, 5th one. How could Kelly's Baruch help to solve the problem? Answer. The scientist was doing research on the theory of seismic waves. It turned out that the problem had a direct connection with the theory of seismic waves. Nuclear explosions produce earth tremors very similar to those generated by earthquakes. Sixth one, which are the natural and man-made disasters that threaten our civilization? Or what are the commonly recognized threats for the survival of our civilization? Or how, according to Baruch, is survival of civilization is threatened? Answer is the very survival of our civilization is threatened by natural and man-made disasters. Among them are earthquakes, implicated destruction of magnitudes, environmental catastrophes, economic and social crises. Today, a massive release of radioactivity from a nuclear waste disposal, an earthquake in the middle of the megalopolis, an outburst of mass violence, or any other global disaster can cause up to 1 million of casualties, render large part of our world inheritable, trigger global economics, depression or a war in a hot region. ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ತಿರುಗಿ ನೀವು ವಿತ್ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಆನ್ಸರನ್ನು ನೀವು ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವಿತ್ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೋ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. Next important question, 7th one. How does basic science help one's career? Answer. The knowledge of basic science gives us new sources of energy, mineral deposits, efficient defense from terrorism, cure from cancer, and new forms of transportation. 8th question. How did the treat of mutually assured destruction protect the world? Answer. At the height of the Cold War, every superpower had more than enough nuclear bombs to destroy the others in the first strike. If one country sent a nuclear missile to the enemy country, the enemy could know it immediately and retaliate it by sending its own missile in the opposite direction. In the bargain, nations would destroy each other mutually. This treat of mutually assured destruction was for some years the only thin thread protecting the world from destruction. Next, 9th one important question, last one. Who will be headhunted by financial institution and the pharmaceutical industries? Why? This question is asked in September 2020. Answer. The people trained in theoretical physics were headhunted by the financial institutions. Those trained in frontiers of biological research became founders and the directors in the pharmaceutical industry. These are important questions on the science and hope of survival lesson. Next, 5th question is coming from the poem Off to Outer Space Tomorrow Morning. Unit 8, Off to Outer Space Tomorrow Morning. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನನ್ನು ಪೋಯಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕೇಳುವಂಥ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ದ ಪೋಯೆಟ್ ಸೇಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲೆಂಡರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್. ಗಿವ್ ರೀಸನ್. Why does the speaker in Off to Outer Space Tomorrow Morning not know the time and date or day? Answer. In space, there would be no day and night, and there would be no seasons, so there would be no need for any calendar or clock. Second question. The speaker has the feeling that he is imprisoned. Why did poet feel like this? Or, according to the poet Norman Nicholson, outer space is solitary confinement for him. Why? Very important questions. These are practice again and again. See the answer. The poet would be alone in his capsule. Nobody would visit him or talk with him. He would not write or receive any letter. So he was in like solitary confinement. Next, third question. The speaker says, teacups circling around me like planet around the sun. Why does it happen only in space and not on the earth? Very simple answer. On the earth, there is a force of gravity, so things don't fly. In space, there is no force of gravity, so things are circling around. Next question, fourth one. How would people on earth watch astronaut? Would it affect him in any way? Answer. People on the earth watch the astronaut on television or track him through their telescope. But the astronaut would not care any of this. He would be in his own world in space. Next, fifth question. Give some instances of daily routine mentioned in the poem. Answer. Daily routine mentioned in the poem are writing mail, posting mail, people visiting others, milkman knocking door in the morning. In the space, the speaker can't do all in space as he is alone in space. Next, sixth question. Sixth one, last question. The poet is off to outer space tomorrow morning. What does he ask the readers to do? Or Norman Nicholson decides neither to write any letters nor to post any mail. Why does the poet feel so? Or the speaker in off to outer space tomorrow morning, in uncertain of this return, how does he express? Or as the astronaut is flying out of the earth, he has doubts about his return. How does he convey this? Very simple answer. He says that people of the earth could start the countdown and take a last look at him. They could cross out his name from their telephone book. This shows their doubt about returning. Very important questions. Yes, basically 4 questions are coming from lessons and 5th question is coming from last poem of To Outer Space tomorrow morning. Then 2 questions are coming from the supplementary reading. See this first supplementary reading. ಎಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ನಮ್ಮ SSLC ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಓದ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂದರೆ ತಿರುಗಿ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಲೆಸನನ್ನು ಓದಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಓದ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಲೆಸನನ್ನು ಓದಬೇಕು. ಅಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲೆಸನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರಲ್ಲಿ 6 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನಾದರೂ ಬರಿಬೋದು, ಇದನ್ನಾದರೂ ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ಗೆ 6 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಜೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಲೆಂದಿ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಜೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗೆ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ. ಸಿ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ದೆನ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಒನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಒನ್. ಸಿ ದ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. See the fifth answer and 6, 7 and 8 questions. 6, 7 and 8 question and 9, 10. 10, 9, 10 and 11 question also is there. Note down. ಇದನ್ನು ಪೌಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಓದ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ. ಎಸ್, ಸಿ ದ 11th answer. See the 11th answer and 12 and 13. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾರಾಯಣಪುರ್ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ರೀಡಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ 13 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸನ್ನು ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್. ಎಸ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. Note down. Here I mentioned the date also, date with year. repeated questions. Yes, next sixth one. In this lesson only 5 questions are there. ನೀವು ಈ ನಾರಾಯಣ್ಪುರ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಸರನ್ನು ಬರಿಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಆನ್ ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಸರನ್ನು ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಲೆಸನನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಓದಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಟರ್ ಎವರ್ ಚೆರಿಶ್ಡ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 5 important questions. Note down 5 important questions. With here I mentioned that. Yes, next last one, the bird of happiness. See the first answer, first question and first answer, and next second and third one. Tenth question and see the 10th answer. See the 10th answer. I choose this PDF notes from Dayed Hasan. ಎಸ್, ಅವರು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದರು, ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರನ್ನು ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ದೇ ನೀಟ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಹೌ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಎಸ್, ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ minimum 14 marks questions. In yesterday we already completed important extracts. This class I explain you about 2 marks important questions. ಡೈಲಿ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಫಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು 80 out of 80 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸನ್ನು ತಗೋಬಹುದು. I think this video is helpful to you. If you like this video, please subscribe our channel and share with your friends. Thank you one and all.